Brenda Condon was born on March 1, 1962, in Clearfield County, Pennsylvania, where she spent her formative years. She completed her education at Clearfield Area High School, graduating in 1980. Known for her blue eyes and reddish-brown hair, Brenda was cherished by those around her. Family, friends, and colleagues often described her as kind, friendly, and dependable. Brenda had 2 children, Shauna and Todd, with her former husband, Thomas L. Condon Jr. The couple resided in Clearfield during their marriage, raising their children together. However, as noted by her older sister Iris Myers, the couple's affection for one another diminished over time, leading to their eventual separation. Their divorce was amicable, and they managed to avoid a custody dispute. Brenda chose to allow Shauna and Todd to remain with their father, Thomas, to ensure they maintained their connections to their schools, friends, and family. She was always welcome to visit and spend time with them. Todd later shared that his parents maintained a positive and healthy relationship post-divorce, often communicating over the phone. After the divorce, Brenda relocated to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, where she established her own home cleaning business. The informal arrangement regarding the children continued smoothly. As Brenda embraced a new chapter in her romantic life with Greg Pizzari, their relationship flourished for 2 years. Seeking to be nearer to her children, who resided in Clearview with Thomas, she made the decision to move in with Greg, who lived in Harvest Circle State College. This transition occurred just months before the mysterious disappearance of the mother of 2. Upon settling in State College, she expanded her home cleaning business by opening a second location. In February 1991, she opted to take on a part-time role as a bartender at Carlsbad Tavern, situated at 1796 Zion Road in Spring Township. By February 26, 1991, Brenda had been employed at the bar for a fortnight. Her responsibilities included closing the establishment after the final call, tidying up, and preparing for her day shift at 10 a.m. the following day. When the morning staff arrived, Brenda's absence went unnoticed. Everything appeared to be in order. The bar was spotless. The previous night's receipts were securely stored and the lights were extinguished. There were no indications of a break-in or theft. It wasn't until the day shift concluded at 6 p.m. that her colleagues realized they hadn't seen her throughout the day. Her vehicle remained parked outside, and her shoes were neatly arranged in the men's restroom, yet her car keys and purse were missing. Her co-workers attempted to recall the last sighting of her, pinpointing it to a time frame between 12:45 a.m. and 1:15 a.m. on February 27th, when she was last observed conversing with an unidentified man inside the bar. Brenda was reported missing that evening, with authorities believing the report was filed 17 hours after her actual disappearance. Despite this, there was no immediate investigation into her case. On March 2, 1991, Brenda was scheduled to pick up her 2 children in Clearview for visitation, a commitment she cherished deeply. It was out of character for her to miss such an important occasion, leading some to speculate that she might have taken a brief trip alone to gather her thoughts without informing anyone. While this possibility seemed more palatable than the alternative, it did little to ease the growing concern among her loved ones. Anticipation was high for her arrival in Clearview, as family and friends hoped to alleviate their anxiety. When they learned of her disappearance, disbelief swept through her circle. Just 2 days before, Brenda was set to celebrate her 29th birthday, with plans for a special dinner with her boyfriend Greg on March 1st, followed by a visit from her children the next day. They were excited to see her new home and enjoy a belated birthday celebration. Even if she had chosen to take some time for herself, it was expected that she would still be there for her children. 12-year-old Todd and 10-year-old Shauna waited outside their father's house, bags in hand. But as the hours passed, they grew increasingly anxious, watching cars go by without spotting Brenda's 1986 Mercury Capri. Concerned for their safety, Todd explained the situation to the children, prompting the official investigation into Brenda's disappearance. A thorough search of the surrounding area was initiated, with police deploying dogs, rescue teams and helicopters to comb through every inch near Carlsbad Tavern, yet no leads emerged. Local and state authorities reported conducting numerous interviews, but these efforts yielded no substantial findings. Inside the bar there were no indications of a struggle, break-in or robbery. Brenda had meticulously organized and stored away the receipts from her previous shift, suggesting her readiness to depart for home. Yet when the day shift team arrived, they found the bar unlocked, and a cigarette vendor who had come to replace the vending machine noted that he had not encountered anyone inside. This led investigators to theorize that the events surrounding her disappearance transpired within the bar as she was preparing to leave. They managed to gather descriptions of 3 male patrons who had been present that evening. While the connection of these men to Brenda's vanishing remains a matter of conjecture, their identities have eluded discovery since 1991. Initially, the police turned their attention to Brenda's ex-husband, Thomas Condon, as a potential suspect. However, he possessed a strong alibi, having been occupied with assisting his sister, Pamela Condon, in her move to a new apartment around the time of Brenda's disappearance. Furthermore, Thomas underwent a polygraph examination, which absolved him of any suspicion in the eyes of the authorities. Similarly, Greg Palazzari, Brenda's boyfriend at the time, was also exonerated. The police made public all available information regarding Brenda's disappearance, including sketches of the 3 men seen at the bar. The first individual was described as being between 38 and 40 years old, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall and clad in a vibrant blue down jacket and jeans. The second was noted to be 25 to 30 years old, approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall, dressed in a black leather coat, a white button-down shirt and jeans. The third patron was around 50 years old, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, wearing a short dark jacket, dark slacks, and a brown plaid shirt. A reward of $5,000 was offered for any valuable information. While there were speculations that Brenda may have fallen victim to homicide, the absence of a body necessitated that the police treat the case as a missing person investigation until new developments arose. The Spring Township Police Department initially oversaw the investigation in 1991, but in 2008 it was handed over to state police at the behest of Spring Township Trooper Brian Wakefield. In an unexpected twist of fate, Greg Palazzari found himself arrested and convicted in 2014 for orchestrating a substantial cocaine operation from the Sunoco gas station he owned. He received a sentence ranging from 5 to 10 years, yet his time was cut short when he passed away on April 21, 2016. Nancy Jones, who had been in a relationship with Greg following Brenda's mysterious disappearance, expressed her belief that Greg may have been involved in Brenda's disappearance. While she did not think he was capable of murder, Nancy suspected that his entanglements in drug trafficking could have inadvertently endangered Brenda. This theory, however, remained unsubstantiated, as authorities leaned towards the notion that Brenda's demise was potentially connected to her workplace. Notably, it was revealed that shortly after Brenda's disappearance, Carlsbad Tavern ceased operations. The police theorized that Brenda's assailant had deliberately placed her boots in the men's restroom. Nevertheless, Brenda's son held a different perspective. He remembered that his mother cherished her extensive collection of boots, but never wore them while cleaning. She preferred to switch to sneakers for comfort. If she had been tidying up, she would have likely removed her boots herself. Her family maintained a hopeful outlook, convinced that she was still out there somewhere. On the 10th anniversary of Brenda's disappearance in 2001, law enforcement held a press conference alongside her family, discussing the case's stagnation, the unidentified patrons at the bar, and the decision to include her case in a national missing persons database. During this time, Shauna welcomed a daughter, feeling heartbroken that her mother was unable to be present for her granddaughter. Brenda's sister, Iris, remarked on the striking resemblance between Shauna's daughter and her missing mother. By 2020, Brenda had been missing longer than she had lived, a reality that weighed heavily on everyone involved. In April 2024, the case once again captured public interest. Detective Kenneth Maines, an esteemed investigator renowned for his expertise in solving cold cases throughout central Pennsylvania, and the host of the acclaimed podcast Unsolved No More, has embarked on a formidable quest to decode the enigma surrounding Brenda's mysterious disappearance, which has lingered for 33 years. Maines is confident that he has unraveled the truth. In a captivating 26-episode YouTube series, he meticulously detailed his theories regarding Brenda's fate and identified the alleged perpetrator. This individual, a volatile womanizer and Brenda's co-worker, was reportedly fixated on the case of her disappearance, as corroborated by the staff at Carlsbad Tavern. Despite Brenda having tidied up, a solitary beer bottle and some cash remained on the bar, leading Maines to surmise that she had concluded her evening, while this co-worker lay in wait for her to finish her shift. Maines further speculated that the man had attempted to charm Brenda, ultimately taking her boots to the men's restroom and lurking in the shadows. He has shared his findings with Brenda's family, empowering them to approach state police investigators. In a gesture of goodwill, Maines has also pledged a $10,000 reward, supplementing the $5,000 offered by the Pennsylvania State Police for credible information regarding Brenda's case. His hope is that the perpetrator will step forward, granting Brenda's family the closure, resolution, and peace they so richly deserve. While Maines is optimistic that Brenda Condon's case has reached a resolution, it remains officially open. Nevertheless, law enforcement has indicated that they possess several new leads that cannot yet be revealed to the public. Those with any information pertaining to Brenda's disappearance are encouraged to reach out to PA Crime Stoppers or visit the online tip line. Additionally, tips can be directed to the Pennsylvania State Police Rockview Station, which is overseeing the investigation.
In 1991, the coastal city of Ventura, California, was deeply affected by the tragic murder of Danielle Claus, a cherished artist. This heartbreaking event left a lasting impact on the community for over 30 years. After a prolonged period of uncertainty, breakthroughs in forensic genealogy finally illuminated the long-standing enigma, offering a measure of solace to her family and the local residents. Born on July 24, 1948, Danielle Claus was a gifted and empathetic artist, celebrated for her poignant poetry and vibrant creativity. Despite facing significant personal struggles, including issues with addiction, she made commendable progress towards recovery. Danielle transformed her life and devoted herself to assisting others grappling with similar challenges. She worked at an adult education center in Ventura, where she provided invaluable support and guidance to individuals dealing with addiction. Danielle was also a skilled poet. She co-wrote a poem titled Sheltered Heart with her sister, which powerfully illustrated a wounded heart besieged by cruelty. This imagery would, in a tragic twist, resonate with the circumstances surrounding her own death. On the evening of July 15, 1991, Ventura experienced a night that would linger in the community's memory for years. At the age of 42, Danielle was last seen around 8 p.m., engaging in conversation with a man at the intersection of Hemlock Street and Thompson Boulevard. This would mark the final sighting of her alive. Her husband reported her missing the following day when she did not return home. On the morning of July 16, 1991, her partially clothed and battered body was found on a hillside along Tioga Drive in a flood control catch basin, approximately a mile from her last known location. The discovery of her remains sent shockwaves through the community and prompted a comprehensive investigation by the Ventura Police Department. The crime scene was harrowing, revealing that Danielle had sustained severe blunt force trauma to her head. An autopsy later indicated evidence of additional assault. In close proximity to her lifeless form, investigators unearthed a bloodied rock, suspected to be the instrument of Danielle's tragic end. The detectives, with unwavering diligence, gathered a plethora of evidence from the scene. Fingerprints, discarded cigarette butts, refuse, documents, and any item that appeared out of place or disturbed. Yet, despite their meticulous efforts, the initial investigation encountered significant hurdles. Eyewitnesses reported a white pickup truck in the vicinity. but tracing its owner proved to be a formidable challenge. Detectives scoured the neighborhood and conducted numerous interviews, yet they were unable to pinpoint the suspect or unearth sufficient leads for an arrest. Their relentless pursuit ultimately led to a frustrating impasse, and the investigation gradually grew cold. The physical evidence amassed, including DNA from the assault kit, fell short of identifying a suspect with the technology available at that time. For over 20 years, the heartbreaking case of Danielle remained unresolved, with her files swelling to over 1,000 pages as investigators meticulously chronicled every avenue explored and every lead pursued. A turning point arrived in 2018 with the apprehension of the Golden State Killer, a breakthrough achieved through the innovative use of forensic genetic genealogy, which would transform cold case investigations across the nation. Officer Tyler Buck, a newly appointed detective within the Ventura Police Department's Major Crimes Unit, devoted several hours each week to the pursuit of cold cases, particularly intrigued by the potential of DNA technology to unlock their mysteries. He diligently pored over the extensive 1,000-page case files, seeking any overlooked details. Buck observed that the DNA sample from the case had been submitted to Combined DNA Index System, yet, regrettably, no matches had emerged. He subsequently contacted the crime scene investigations team to reassess the evidence, uncovering that the weapon, a rock, and Danielle's fingernail clippings had never undergone DNA testing. In May 2021, investigators resolved to analyze these items, aiming to compare the DNA from the rock and fingernail clippings with that from the assault kit. By September 2021, the investigation yielded results that unequivocally linked the DNA to a singular, unidentified suspect. Recognizing the imperative for contemporary techniques, the team embarked on the intricate journey of forensic genetic genealogy, a method both expensive and remarkably effective. They sought collaboration from various agencies, enlisting the expertise of senior forensic genealogist Misty Gillis from Identifiers International to meticulously analyze the DNA sample. Following the construction of a comprehensive genetic profile, it was uploaded to numerous genealogy databases. By July 2022, genealogists had successfully pieced together a portion of the suspect's family tree. In May 2023, they identified a living relative with a keen interest in genealogy who had already compiled a family tree and graciously provided a DNA sample. The analysis revealed a first cousin match, narrowing the focus to two male first cousins, the deceased Larry Devin Welch and his surviving brother residing in Virginia. With only one brother remaining, investigators encountered difficulties in discreetly obtaining a DNA sample. By October 2023, a cold case assault unit had further refined profiles of the Welch brothers. The analysis indicated that Welch possessed brown hair and hazel eyes, aligning with the suspect's description, while his living brother had blonde hair and blue eyes. To validate their findings, Virginia State Police assisted in acquiring a DNA sample from the surviving brother, who also shared insights into Welch's life. Testing confirmed he was not the suspect, but rather the full sibling of the individual in question. Consequently, it was established that the DNA recovered from the crime scene belonged to Larry Welch. Additional evidence linked Welch to the crime. He owned a white Ford Ranger and maintained a P.O. box in Ventura at the time of the murder. Witnesses had seen him with Danielle around the time of her disappearance, and another had observed him near the location where her body was discovered. Tragically, Welch, who was 41 at the time of the crime, had succumbed to an overdose in 1999. His identification provided a semblance of closure for the family of Danielle Claus. Marcy Forte, the sister of the late Danielle Claus, conveyed her heartfelt appreciation for the unwavering commitment of the Ventura police and all those who played a role in bringing resolution to this tragic case. She reminisced about her sister's vibrant life and the arduous path to justice. My sister transcended the label of a victim in a heinous crime. She was an artist, a beloved daughter, a devoted sister, a nurturing mother, and a cherished wife. Her spirit was immense, and her life was cut short far too soon. Marcy recounted the harrowing moment she viewed her sister's remains. The brutality inflicted upon her left her unrecognizable. I couldn't bear the thought of my mother witnessing such devastation. It was utterly heartbreaking. During the holidays, I held on to the hope that I would uncover the truth behind this tragedy. After 33 long years, my prayers have finally been fulfilled. The efforts made were extraordinary, and I am profoundly grateful to witness at least a semblance of justice. The resolution of Danielle's case stands as a tribute to the relentless dedication and ingenuity of the Ventura Police Department. Chief Darren Schindler remarked, "From the initial investigation in 1991 to the latest advancements in forensic science, I take great pride in acknowledging the unwavering determination of our detectives as they tirelessly pursue justice for the victim and her grieving family." The successful conclusion of Danielle Claus's case not only offers hope, but also serves as a guiding light for the resolution of other cold cases.
In November of 1986, the tranquil community of Garland, Texas, was irrevocably altered by tragedy. The lifeless form of Barbara Fay Villarreal was discovered by her husband, plunging the town into sorrow. Despite exhaustive investigations, the trail grew cold, leaving the case unresolved for over 30 years, only to reveal a shocking connection to someone intimately familiar to Barbara. Born into a large yet close-knit family, Barbara's upbringing in the serene Indiana countryside was marked by simplicity and joy. Her childhood was filled with delightful moments, such as cycling to her grandparents' quaint corner shop for sweets and splashing in the nearby lake. A dear friend fondly remembered her as an impeccable, intelligent, and gentle soul. As the youngest of 4 from her mother's first marriage, Barbara faced the loss of her father at a tender age, yet her mother's subsequent marriage brought 2 more siblings into her life. Sundays and holidays were cherished occasions spent with her extensive family, brimming with cousins. She delighted in sharing culinary secrets and doted on her beloved Pomeranian. On the fateful day of November 7, 1986, officers from the Garland Police Department responded to a disturbance call at a residence on Colbath Street. Upon their arrival, they discovered the tragic scene of 27-year-old Barbara Fay Villarreal, who had succumbed to multiple stab wounds in a back room of her home. A large kitchen knife lay ominously nearby. That evening, her 32-year-old husband, Domingo Diaz Villarreal, was taken into custody on investigative charges of murder. Following a thorough interrogation, he was ultimately exonerated as a suspect, claiming to have found her and urgently sought help from neighbors. DNA evidence collected from the scene was entered into the Combined DNA Index System database in 1988. Tragically, 2 years later, her husband met his own demise in a shootout in Mexico, revealing that his true identity was, in fact, Jesus Canales. Over the years, the Federal Bureau of Investigation and detectives from the Garland Police Department pursued numerous leads across both the United States and Mexico, yet the case remained unsolved for many decades. In 2023, advancements in technology, particularly DNA genealogy, enabled the Garland Police Department to identify a suspect. The DNA evidence collected from the crime scene was found to match that of 85-year-old Liborio Canales, who is the brother of Barbara's husband. A relative of Canales had submitted DNA to a public database. The Lovington Police Department in New Mexico reported that Canales was known to frequent a residence in the area. They also noted that he had recently crossed the border from Mexico into New Mexico to celebrate his birthday with family. On July 18, 2023, The Lovington Police Department apprehended Canales without hassle. He was subsequently booked into the Lee County Detention Center under a federal warrant for homicide. While in custody, detectives indicated that Canales confessed to the murder of Barbara, citing a family dispute as the motive. His bail was set at $1 million. Records indicate that Canales was extradited back to Texas and processed at the Dallas County Jail on August 18th. The Garland Police Department expressed gratitude for the collaboration of the Dallas Federal Bureau of Investigation Violent Crimes Task Force, the Lee County Sheriff's Office, and the Lovington, New Mexico Police Department in resolving this cold case, providing closure for Barbara Fay's family. This resolution allows her family to finally comprehend the circumstances surrounding Barbara's tragic demise and embark on their healing journey. The case of Barbara Villarreal serves as a poignant reminder of the intricate nature of family relationships and the lasting effects of unresolved tragedies. It underscores the significance of persistence in the quest for justice, regardless of the time elapsed. Barbara's legacy is preserved not only through the resolution of her case, but also through the enduring love and memories cherished by those she left behind. On March 12, 2024, Canales received a 20-year prison sentence in Texas. Just before his departure, Barbara's family conveyed a powerful sentiment, asserting that they would no longer allow him to occupy their thoughts, and that the life he led should be viewed as a gift. Inside the courtroom, Barbara's sister-in-law addressed Canales, stating, "You spent 37 years living as if nothing had occurred. You did not merely take Barb's life, you also took a part of everyone who knew her." Barbara's brother remarked, "While this does not change our reality, as we still mourn our sister, it is comforting to find some closure." The lead prosecutor from Dallas County commented, "They may have committed unspeakable acts in their lives. They are aware that they will soon face their maker. I believe this realization aids individuals in accepting responsibility and pleading guilty." At 93 years old, Barbara's mother is still alive, and it was crucial for her to witness the day someone was held accountable for her daughter's death.